So let's get it started with topic number 1 on the Hermosa Strand. Everyone likes talking about strand houses. Who wouldn't love to own a strand home? Who wouldn't love to talk about the Strand? It's beautiful homes, beautiful views, and big, big prices. That's why we watch $1 Million Listing, et cetera, et cetera. There is something intoxicating about this amazing beach real estate. And in a nutshell for most of the show, is the market has been on fire, insanely on fire. And even when the market's hot, sometimes luxury real estate isn't hot, and sometimes the Strand isn't hot because it's a very speculative market, especially in the short and medium term. You are almost guaranteed to make money on the Strand over the very long term. In fact, probably loads of money compared to any other real estate, but really in the short to medium term, it's very speculative and can move up and down from sale to sale. That being said, the Hermosa Strand has recaught fire with the rest of the marketplace. The interesting thing about the Hermosa Strand is it was having an incredible run in 2016 and 2017, and it actually took a big U-turn in 2018 and 2019. It was a really soft market, a buyer's market, even in a time when other parts of the market were doing really, really well. In particular, I had a client looking on the Strand. We noticed in 2018 the market was getting soft, and in 2019 it was getting even softer, and we pounced on an incredible land deal in 2019 at what I think was the bottom, and here we are in 2020 and 2021, and we've had an amazing surge. So I'm excited for that client, but excited to tell you guys how it's bounced back. Let's divide the Hermosa Strand into 2 parts. We'll call one the south end, south of pier, and one the north end, north of pier. The south end tends to sell for smaller dollar amounts. It's considered less desirable, a little bit busier, farther away from Manhattan Beach, where the north end of Hermosa, you get the best of both worlds, where you're kind of right in the middle of Hermosa and Manhattan, and it's a little bit quieter, and in some cases you get bigger lots. So let's start with the south end. What's very interesting is after the south end lagged, ending in 2019, and we started to have the comeback in 2020, the rebound from the coronavirus, we saw a spec sale close at $8.2 million on the south end, a 4,000 plus square foot spec sale, $8.2 million, which was a great price. It was actually a rebound off of a very poor performance from a spec sale a couple of years ago. And that was our first sign that the market was strengthening. In 2021, we saw another spec sale, better executed, but the same size in a very similar location, jump and sell for close to $9.9 million. And let me correct that. It hasn't sold officially for $9.9 million, but it was only on the market for a couple of months, asking above 9.9, and it feels like they're going to get around that number. That in just a 6 to 9 month time frame is a $1.7 million jump on the Hermosa South End. And yes, the house was better executed, but $1.7 million is a big jump. In fact, it's close to a 20% jump from its previous spec sale on the South End. So that is such an insanely bullish tone on this market of having 2 really solid spec sales. And if this one closes anywhere near 9.9 million, the Hermosa Strand is a total seller's market. To give clarity to the north end of the Hermosa Strand, this is actually where the most strength comes from, because if the north runs really strong, it pulls up the south end with it. And while we're probably seeing some strength in the spec sales, but the north end has seen not just velocity of sales, but big dollar amount sales. The North End has 8-figure sales, so I'm talking 10 million plus. They were a rarity back a couple of years ago and really reserved more for Manhattan Beach. Now we're having 3 and 4 8-figure sales in 1 year post-pandemic, which is driving the market so strongly on the North End and really doing wonders for the South End. Let's jump into what that looks like. We had a $14.25 million home sale, not brand new, but very well executed, a little over 10 years old. That was an unrealistic seller that listed the property not once, but twice for $20 million. They eventually got realistic, chopped the price, and made a deal at $14.25 million. That's just a huge number for the Hermosa Strand, and that rising tide helps to lift all boats. And you saw that in a gorgeous spec sale, really well done. And in fact, rather than going 4,000 plus square feet like a lot of developers do and max out the lot, they did an undersized build to save money, but go higher end on the finishes. That property in 2019 looked like they were going to get smashed with how weak the market was because they had bought it earlier. And today they sold it for $11.57 million. And from a price per square foot standpoint, they sold it for over $3,000 a square foot, which is a record on the MLS on the Hermosa Strand. So it just is a credit to the incredible strength on the Strand and some big price jumps and record sales that are just keeping this market going gangbusters. And just as the quick aside on Manhattan Beach, in the last 6 months in MB, we've seen 5 8-figure sales with 2 more currently in escrow. So it's not unique to Hermosa. Manhattan's Strand is going bananas. Now, 8-figure sales are kind of the norm now on the Strand in Manhattan Beach, but to have 5 close in the last 6 months and another 2 in escrow, that's just unbelievable strength for some of the most coveted beach real estate in the South Bay.